Ask everyone to rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10. So let's do that.
A fat 10.
A fat 10?
I mean, I'm just saying what everybody in the comments is going to say. Be like, oh yeah, she's a fat fucking 10. Like, great.
Is there a comma somewhere in that statement?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know.
What was said was said.
Okay.
Yeah. I said what I said, and I meant what I said.
She's a 10? More like she's made up of 10% of the world's population. More like she's a 10 on a Richter scale. More like the 10th planet in our solar system.
It does not mean bad, it does not mean unhealthy, it does not mean any of these negative words.
Weight is not a good predictor of health. We can talk about health, and I think it is important, but I don't think weight is a good proxy to do that.
The destruction of this scale is dedicated to all of the women whose lives have been ruined and ruled by it.
Why did this woman use a hammer to destroy the scale when she literally can just step on it?
Weight limit exceeded. 1 person at a time, please.
Oh, that's fucked up.
If people want to lose weight because they think they're going to be better human beings or happier or healthier, everything's going to be amazing because they fit into a size 10, 12 dress, then that can be problematic.
I'm fat, but I eat healthy. I'm fat, but I'm not lazy. I'm fat, but I'm a runner.
If I don't have diabetes now, I will.
Fuck. Fuck was that about? Dude, you're weird.
Being obese, being fat, being overweight has become the new normal. I really believe for fat people, the solution is their own hands. They don't need to put so much into their faces. So take that, fat bastards.
You're gaining for a reason that you feel like to prove society wrong.
Yes.
Which you're wrong.
I'm trying to put on full stone to prove society if you stop eating and move more, you will lose weight.
And that ain't true.
So she set out to prove it.
What we have in front of us is what I'll be eating from now on in order to put on 4 stone in 3 months.
Katie went from 125 pounds to 167 pounds in 3 months by eating and doing nothing.
All right, Katie, so your final weight is just under 12 stone. So you've put on
3 stone and a bit.
That's right.
In the special, Katie takes the weight off again, cutting back to 1,500 calories a day and exercising. She made her campaign public, but it didn't make her popular.
And I think I'm right to carry on sort of bruising my way through on this issue because I think there's so many people willing to tiptoe around it.
Do you think overweight people are just lazy?
I do think overweight people are lazy. The hardest thing to do is to stand in front of the mirror, say that you have got the problem, you've caused the problem, there's no excuses, and you're the only person that can do something about it.
I kept waiting in the specials for you to address other issues, Katie, such as, thyroid problems, medical issues, genetic predispositions, socioeconomic status, income, education, and none of that was mentioned.
What you did right there is what everybody does, and it's what I won't stand for, and what I don't think America should tolerate anymore either. And that's a whole list of excuses as to why it's not your problem. Well, learn this and learn it well. It is your problem.
This lady is an absolute G for gaining 50 pounds and being able to lose it. She just proved an entire movement wrong.
Fat motherfuckers be like, being overweight runs in our family. Bro, nobody runs in your family.
Because if the fat body positive movement involve some kind of movement, it will solve everything. But the fat body positive movement is the only real movement without any movement.
Loving the move. Now, tonight on the TLC channel at 9 o'clock tonight, Whitney has got a new series called My Big Fat Fabulous Life. Okay, so you're still dancing.
Yes.
Yes, and a lot of people maybe say, who are you kidding, really? You're dancing here, but really this is not the sort of advert that we should be having.
I think that's interesting because my life isn't an advertisement for anything. I don't have a hidden agenda. I'm just living my life the way that I see fit. And fat people so often offend others in society, and I find that it's one of the last socially acceptable prejudices.
I absolutely agree with you on that one, but what about people who are concerned about you? I mean, there might be people concerned you're going to keel over and die because maybe your body, your heart won't be able to sustain all the enthusiasm that you have.
That's true. I do have a lot of enthusiasm. I think that the concern for health is often a mask to discriminate or to be cruel to fat people. I think there are actually very few people in my life who care and love me enough to be genuinely concerned about my health. And as far as my health goes, I would like to break some stereotypes about fat people, because even at 380 pounds, I'm certainly not naive to the health risks that may come if I stay this weight. But I have no major health problems. I've never even had high blood pressure.
Yet, Whitney.
Right, yet.
Yet. And I do have to say, I advocate you. I am overweight. I am constantly lampooned for being overweight, but I do speak to you from concern. You're doing your ankles no good, your knees no good, your hips no good, your heart probably very no good. So, I mean, I do think there is concern. People would look at you and say, oh, are you sure?
She says, being fat does not determine my health. While she struggles to breathe and almost has a damn stroke mid-sentence, saying being fat and healthy is equivalent to me saying I'm a mute, but I am a professional singer. I'm a vegan, but I eat meat. I'm a top-tier, world-class, professional Uber driver, but I am fucking blind.
I'm here today to talk to you about a very powerful little word, one that people will do almost anything to avoid becoming. I'm not sure if any of you have noticed, but I'm fat. Let's not sugarcoat it. I am the capital F-A-T kind of fat. I am the elephant in the room.
Well, duh.
When I walked out on stage, some of you may have been thinking, oh, this is going to be hilarious, because everybody knows that fat people are funny. Or you may have been thinking, where does she get her confidence from? Because a confident fat woman is almost unthinkable. These judgments are insidious. They can be directed at individuals and groups, and they can also be directed at ourselves. And this way of thinking is known as fat phobia.
Das war ein Befehl! Der Angriff Steiners war ein Befehl!
Like any form of systematic oppression, fat phobia is deeply rooted in complex structures like capitalism, patriarchy, and racism. We live in a culture where being fat is seen as being a lazy, greedy, unhealthy, irresponsible.
Meanwhile,
Now I exercise every day.
Now I exercise every day.
More like exercise every day by walking to the pantry and stuffing yourself with some goddamn churros. It's funny because they say fat is a beautiful thing, and they get offended when you call them fat.
Why does life sometimes feel so wrong? Like running in circles and you don't belong. I always knew that this day would come. It's time to break free, meet me on the run. But what am I running from? And I look up to the open sky, hopes in my heart, dreams in my eyes. Will I ever make it right this time? And all I can do, and all I can do is try. And all I can do, and all I can do, and all I can do is
Now, as a man, it is absolutely 100% unacceptable for you to be overweight, lazy, and broke. Because remember, gentlemen, society does not hold men to the same standards as a woman, because an overweight, thick woman will get through life just fine. Because let's be honest, any guy will penetrate and fuck anything with a hole in it. Now, gentlemen, before I end this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. But before I end this video, you must hear from our cheek-slaying warrior, John Burke.
You want to sit there and bitch, whine, and cry about your goddamn feelings all the time. Oh, well, he hurt my feelings. Fuck your feelings. I'll tell you what you need to hear, not what you want. We've got a society of politically correct bitches out there that want to sit there and preach this is what they want to hear, give it to them, rather than this is what they need to save their fucking life. But you don't understand that. You're not willing to stand up and preach out against these people out there that promote this bullshit movement. I'm all for people that are overweight, doing something for themselves. I'll give them all the help I can. Good for them. It's not the fact that they're obese why I don't agree with them. It's the fact they're making an excuse and not doing anything about it. And then trying to justify it and get other people to follow along their footsteps. Fuck that! You sit there and explain to those children that are being brought up in the same fashion why they're facing a lifetime of medical conditions because your fucking lazy ass didn't have the ability, didn't have the drive and the motivation to get up and do something for them. To teach them the right way. To take it upon yourself to educate yourself. Google, the internet, it's a hell of a tool. You can learn so much out there, but you choose not to. Where there's a will, there's a way. When you've got air in your lungs, then you have no excuse. It's just a matter of perspective. You're either going to be a fucking sheep, or you're going to be a lion. You're going to be an attacker and a go-getter. But if you want to sit there and cry, bitch, and moan and whine all the fucking time while you can't, then you sit your ass on that bench with the losers, and you stay there, and you eat yourself to death. But don't expect me to turn around and pat you on the back and say, hey, good job for being a fucking quitter. Get up and do something about it. Sick and tired of all these damn excuses. Well, fuck your feelings.